Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, you guys have been requesting a Valentine's Day look, so that is what we'll be doing today. I'm hoping to do a couple of Valentine's Day looks before the day comes, but we'll see how this one goes. This is going to be my first Valentine's Day look. It's also going to be my first ever get ready with me style video, as well as a full face of ColourPop. So bear with me, I've never done a talking while applying makeup video before, so this is definitely going to be interesting. I tried it last night or a few nights ago, and I cannot talk while applying my makeup. I'm either talking or I'm looking in the mirror putting on my makeup. I wasn't able to do both, so we will see how this goes. If anything else, you guys will just be watching me put makeup on without saying a word. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I brought you guys in up close, and we're going to go ahead and get started. My mirror, everything is set, so we are good to go. I don't have a specific routine that I follow, just because sometimes I'll start with foundation, sometimes I'll start with eyebrows, sometimes I'll start with my eyes. I can't stick to a routine. So for today's video, we're going to be starting with primer and then working onto eyebrows, and then we'll go from there and we'll figure it out. I don't know why I don't have a set routine. I just haven't found something that I absolutely love doing. Like, I haven't found that set pattern that I'm obsessed with. So we're testing it out. One day I'm going to find something. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to continue doing my makeup this way. The first thing we have here that we're going to be using is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. Now, I don't have any favorites as far as primer goes. I use so many different kinds because I'm testing it out, and some primers work well with certain foundations and then others not so much. So I am using this one because I am doing a full face of ColourPop, and I figured the ColourPop products are going to go well together. So I don't have any complaints about this. I do like it. It's hydrating. It smells good. I just don't have a primer that I am obsessed with, that I'm like, oh my god, you guys need to go out immediately and buy it. Haven't met it yet. Haven't met the one. So this ColourPop one is a really good one. It's hydrating. I have combination oily skin, and it still does a great job of keeping my foundation together without making me feel oily or greasy or just sticky and gross. So I do like it. It's a good one. It smells good. Their whole entire Pretty Fresh collection smells amazing. So that definitely has me hooked. The next thing I said I was going to do is brows. I don't know where I put it. Here we go. So the brow product that I'm going to use today is the Brow Color, and my shade is Black and Brown. And I have an eyebrow brush. So the eyebrow brush that I use, oh my god, it is so old, it doesn't even say. The Anastasia Beverly Hills 7B eyebrow brush. So it's the only brush that I found that is super thin to help create the lines that I want for my brows. If you guys have other eyebrow brushes that you guys are obsessed with, let me know. I would love to try them out. And I need to get a new brow color because it's starting to harden on me. But we're just going to go ahead and start with the eyebrows. All I really do is basically fill them in. I kind of like to keep the shape that I have and just try to finesse my way to make both of the eyebrows as even to each other as possible. So we'll go ahead and fill it in. I usually start in the middle of the brows because I don't want to create that blocky point in the front. That square looking brows, I don't like it. I like it to look natural and blended like an ombre style. So I just start right in the middle. That way, whenever I go towards the front, it has the least amount of product on my brush. And this is the tricky part, is trying to talk while I'm doing this. Okay. And I'm not too concerned if I make any messes, because I am going to go in with the concealer. Oops. With the concealer to clean up the eyebrow and make sure the shape is exactly how I want it. And this is actually the longest step out of my whole entire makeup routine, is trying to get these eyebrows to match and to not look crazy. I think that one is good. I really try to avoid having a lot of product in this front area. So I try to just go a little at a time and then spoolie through it. So the eyebrows are filled in. So the next thing we are going to do, we are gonna go ahead and use a brow gel to make sure all of the hairs stay in place. And then I'm gonna go ahead in with concealer and we are going to clean up the brows. And if you guys haven't used a brow gel before, you need to try it. I never used it before. I had no idea what it was. And then I found it in Ulta one day and I was like, okay, I will give this a try. And it's a lifesaver. It is hairspray for your eyebrows, but it's a gel, not a spray. And it works wonders. It keeps all of your hairs in place, especially when I have like curly. Some of my hairs are curly for some reason. Keeps it in control. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and go in with concealer. So for concealer, I'm gonna be using the No Filter Concealer, and I use shade Light 16. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little on the top and then on the bottom. Now I don't put it too close to the eyebrows because I want to be able to take little by little the amount of product to shape the eyebrows. That way, in case I mess up or something, I don't put a huge glop right on top of my eyebrows. It just gives me better control. And I know my brush is broken, but I have a little flathead brush here that I'll be using because it's stiff and makes it easier to shape my brow. So we'll start with under, and I just slowly get close to the edge of my brow. And then I just make sure I clean up the edges so that I think it's called cutting, shaping your eyebrow. It's called something. I can't remember it for the life of me, but it helps create that shape that you want. It defines your eyebrows, something like that. So I just slowly go through and I do the top of my lid. I don't use an eyelid primer, I just go in with concealer. So any excess I'll put on top of the lid. And then we do the same thing right at the top. And that one is pretty good, so I'll just clean up the concealer around it. And then we'll move on to the next one. So now that we're done with the eyebrows, I'm just going to take my Morphe blender or sponge, whatever you want to call it, and just pat over the concealer, because the next step we will work on is the eyes. So before we work on the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on it. I don't have any of the makeup tape, I guess, that people sell, so I'm just using a medical tape for my under eye, and I'm just going to line it up with my lower lash line. And then we are going to be using the Nude Mood palette, and these are the colors. So I'm gonna go in with the M506 brush by Morphe, and we're gonna go in with the shade Moody to kind of trace out the shape. So I'm just starting where the tape is against my eye, and then I'm just working above the crease. And all I'm really doing is trying to get pigment on it first, and we'll work on blending it later. So now we have the Moody pigment on there. I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out with the shade Bluffing right here. Ooh, right here. And if for some reason it gets a little too light, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some Bare to Work as well. And the brush that I'm using is the Morphe M433. Ooh. Ooh, that was a lot. And I'm just basically going to go in small circles to blend it out. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to go with Bare to Wear first. And then I'll add some of the bluffing on top of that. So I blended out the eyes. I think I'm gonna go in a little bit darker. For some reason, the camera, it looks pretty light, but in person, it's a little bit darker, but I still am gonna try to go in a little bit more with the shade Moody, and I'm using the M441 brush. So just a little bit. All right, so now the eyes are blended, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease with the concealer, and I will be using the Morphe M124 brush. And I don't have any tips or tricks for cutting the crease. I basically am just hoping every single time that it turns out good. The only thing that I do use is I have hooded eyes, so I go just above the hood where I see that little crease right here. And I know to mark it just above it. That way I know at least both of my eyes will be even. So just above this one. Right there. And right there, so I know both of the creases will at least be even, and then I will cut it from there. Okay, so I have cut my crease, and I am currently just patting down the concealer. I'm gonna add the shade Wink Wink right in the middle here, and we're gonna add that over the concealer. I need a new brush. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm using the brush M124. So we're just gonna pack that on this brush and just pat that on the lid. Now you can barely see it, but in person, I don't know if you can see it. In person, it's glittery. All right, so now that the shade Wink Wink is on, I'm gonna go ahead and go back into the shade Moody with my M506 brush, and we're just gonna go ahead and add that towards the end of the cut crease and blend it in with that Wink Wink shade. And I'm just trying to make it so that you can't see where the cut crease ends. So just trying to blend both of these shades together. And this definitely takes a bit of a while. All right, so now we're all done with the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and put some mascara and some false eyelashes on. I don't own any from ColourPop, so I'm just gonna pick some random brands. And I cannot put eyelashes on in front of the camera just yet to save my life. It takes me forever trying to apply it, so I will be right back. All right, so I got my lashes on. So now we're gonna go ahead and take the tape off. So we can go ahead and put on our foundation. And then for the foundation, we are going to be using the No Filter foundation from ColourPop and the Morphe Beauty Blender. Ooh. My mirror is a little too close. There we go. And I'm just gonna start in sections. So I'll start applying it over here, and then I'll move to the other side, and then to the top of my head. I don't like to leave foundation just on my face so that it can dry up. So I just go a little bit at a time. I am in no rush. So now we are all done with the foundation. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of my concealer and put it underneath my eyes. And then we're just gonna put a little bit on my forehead because I'll be contouring the top of my forehead, so I have a little bit of brightness. And I love this sponge that I could have this sharp end here to go right underneath the eyes. And then just blend it out. And I'm still keeping that line from when I did my eyes, so I'm just trying to be very careful around it. Alright, so the next step we have here is setting powder. I don't have a ColourPop setting powder, so I'm using the Lancome Long Time No Shine translucent powder. It's one of my favorites because it leaves your skin feeling so soft. So I'm going to put it underneath my eyes. Oh, that's a lot. And now it's all over my shirt and everywhere. I can only imagine the faces that I've been making in this video because I have never done this before. So if I made a bunch of faces, enjoy and my bad. Ha. So, ooh, that was a lot. That's okay. That's okay. We will get rid of it later. I have it all over my shirt. I am the messiest person when it comes to putting makeup on. You will see the makeup on my face and then all over my clothes. So I am super messy. I usually don't put on whatever outfit I'm gonna wear for the day on because it's gonna turn into a hot mess, or I try to like figure it out with a towel or something because I can't. I have yet to figure it out. If you guys know how to, oh, this keeps coming off my face. There we go. If you guys know how to put makeup on without creating a mess, let me know if there's a technique or there's something that you use, or maybe you're just not a crazy hot mess like I am. Let me know, because I definitely create chaos and a disaster and a hot mess when I do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that set for a little bit. While that is setting, I'm going to take a smaller brush. What is this one? The M405, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of the setting powder. I don't wanna go too crazy putting it on the rest of my face, just a little bit so that the tackiness kind of goes away, but I don't want my makeup to look cakey. So we'll just lightly put it on. And if you guys haven't used this setting powder before, I definitely recommend it. The first time that I tried it, I was like, oh, okay, it's like any other powder. I put it on my face and I was like practically massaging my face because it was so soft. Silky, silky smooth, and it lasted all day and I just absolutely loved it. It is one of my top 3 favorite setting powders. I believe it might be my favorite. This one and the Givenchy powder. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you might not. I'll like link it somewhere. I have a Givenchy setting powder that's like 4 different colors. That one is my absolute favorite. It leaves the skin silky smooth. It has 4 different colors. I think the green is to like neutralize redness. I'm not even gonna guess because I'm gonna mess it up and someone's gonna come after me for it, but it has 4 different colors. I think it does 4 different things with those colors, and I just absolutely love how it leaves my skin feeling, how it sets my face. It's just an amazing powder. So I'm just gonna go gently by the brows. And then I'm going to use this same brush to clear out my under eyes. we are going to move on to bronzing and blush and all that jazz. I don't have a contour from ColourPop. Either way, I don't really contour. 9 out of 10 times, I just use bronzer and bronze my face like a contour. But I am putting this powder all over this dog. Sadie. Okay, like I was saying, I use a bronzer. I don't really ever contour. I don't know why. I've never gotten into it. It's something that I want to try and practice on. I've always started with bronzing, and that's what I've done ever since. But I will be using the Coconut Beach Pressed Powder Bronzer, and this is what it looks like. I created a lot of fallout the other day, so it's like tacked on there. It's probably gonna end on me as well, so yay. And I have a specific brush that I use. Here, I use the Luxie 512 small contouring brush. I don't know why. I know I have a bunch of different contouring brushes. Is this a contour brush? I have no idea. I have a bunch of different contour brushes, but for some reason I like this one because it's so precise. So I'm just gonna dip it in there a little bit. This powder has a lot of fallout. I learned the first time I tried it. I just swooped and it was just the darkest line on my face. So we're not gonna do that again. There we go. And I already basically know on my face where to put this. I always know that I have to go above my ear and then just underneath my eye. It took a lot of practice. I know there's different charts that you can see online to see where to put your, where to do your contouring. But I was never able to really figure out the charts that they have online. So I basically did trial and error where I put lines in different areas of the side of my face to figure out what worked best for me. And I just figured out the small little line right here, nothing further past the eye, was what I preferred the most. And I don't like sharp lines, so I do like to diffuse the line. I see girls baking underneath their bronzer. I used to do that, and I just don't like it anymore because I don't like the sharp line that it creates. So I just put a line through and then buff out the edges. The next thing that we are going to do is use some blush. See, I created a mess with the bronzer as well. It's all over the place. The blush that I'm using is the Shortcake Pressed Powder Blush. And it looks like this. It is kind of pinky, and I wanted it to be I wanted to use a blush that was a little more red. But this is the only blush I have from ColourPop, so we're gonna make it work. It's a very light color. It doesn't come on strong, so I can definitely make it work. I'll be using the Luxie 516 Duo Fiber Brush. This is the brush that I use for blush. The brush that I use for blush. Look at me rhyming. So it's just what I started using, and I fell in love with it, so I use it. So I'm gonna go in here a little bit. And then I always smile to see where my cheekbones are. I don't know if it's corny or not, but I'm just gonna go right here. And then I'm gonna go over with the translucent setting powder brush that I had used and just lightly diffuse the color. I think Jeffree Star calls it veiling, or is it Nikki? Lipstick Nikki? Lipstick Nick. Sorry. Lipstick Nick, I think she's the one who calls it veiling. But I just go over it if I feel like the color is a little too much. And then the next thing we are moving on is to the highlight. I'm using the Real Thing Super Shock Highlighter. If you guys haven't seen this thing is humongous. And it's so pretty. It's like a rose gold highlight. So we're gonna go ahead and add the highlights. I use a random brush. It doesn't have a name or anything on it. It's just a small little soft. I may go a little hard with the highlight. So we'll just go ahead and add it here. It's literally super pretty. The next thing we are going to do is add some of the shade Moody underneath the eye. And then lipstick, we'll do that last. So let me take this is not the brush that I need. If you can only see the mess that I'm currently creating right now, you would probably go insane. Okay, I guess this is the brush that I need. So I'm gonna go in with the, the shade Moody, just a little bit, and this is the brush M506. And we're just gonna go right underneath. Alright, so I finished underneath my eyes and I applied some mascara. And the next thing we're going to be working on is the lips. I'm going to be using the ColourPop Lippy Sticks in the shade Fly FI. So it's right here. And I don't have a ColourPop lip liner, so I'm going to go ahead and try to line the lips with this stick, being that it's pretty thin. And we will see how that goes. And then for the final step of this look, yes, we are finally done. I'm going to be using the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist, which is one of, ooh, just lost me. There you go. It is one of my favorite setting sprays. It smells amazing. So let's go ahead and put that on. Alright guys, so we are finally done. You guys have survived my first ever Get Ready With Me video, so congratulations. It was super hard trying to figure out how to talk and apply makeup at the same time, but I feel like I did a lot better than my first video that I was originally recording on. So yeah, what do you think as far as the look? Let me know below. I think this was a super easy look to do. I think anyone can do it. Super simple, perfect for Valentine's Day. It is classic, simple, elegant, goes with any occasion, any outfit. Yeah, I really like that. I love the neutral eyes. I love the neutral glam eyes. And then the pop of red lip. So, and it's a full face of ColourPop products, which is one of my favorite brands ever. I loved everything about this look, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as well. As far as the giveaway for this video goes, it's going to be super simple. All you have to do is make sure you are subscribed to this channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and then comment below what your favorite brand is, and maybe I will do a Get Ready With Me with your favorite brand next. So those three things, super simple, super easy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.